What's up, miracle makers? It's Victoria Masters back again, this time with a very important message, a message that has truly shifted everything in my life, including my very extremely streamlined coaching practice, turned it upside down for me. Now I am almost starting from scratch with everything because this one principle has just taken over. Okay, so again, this is going to be one of those simple videos. I'm not going to edit this. I'm not going to make it fancy by any means. So just bear with me as I go through this right now for you guys. And if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking down at my notes. So if you're new here, make sure to click subscribe, click the bell button, be the first to know. Go ahead and drop me a comment. That helps the algorithm and it helps to spread this message. And if there is one video that needs to be shared far and wide, it's this one. And that's because, guys, I've spent the last, 8 years on how to shift and change and get myself and my clients transformation, and nothing has been quite as powerful as this main principle that I am going to share with you today. So if you're new to my channel, again, my channel, it's called Who is Victoria Masters, and that's because I made this at a time where, and still to this day, where I have lots of interests, passions, and things that are fun and incorporated into my life and that I enjoy sharing about. But what you'll see a lot of are not only reviews and things like that, but this kind of work, the work I do as a transformational life coach, and now more so as a transformational mindset coach, which will be, I guess, my new title, unless I want to change it. But we are all about making miracles normal here. I guess if I could have a tagline, it would be how to step out of stagnancy and into the miraculous. And that's what we're all about. And today's video is all around the principle of everyone is you pushed out. Everyone is you pushed out. So what exactly does that mean? Maybe you've already watched some videos about this, and maybe you don't quite understand the same verbiage as other YouTubers use, or maybe you've even read some older texts or listened to some of the recordings from Neville Goddard back in the 40s and 50s and things like that, and it's just not exactly clicking. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I feel like somebody's gonna hear this message and it's gonna click for them, and they're gonna get it finally, and they're gonna be like, holy shit, that's how this works, that's how we make this happen. So I want to first share what it's not exactly. Okay, it's not exactly mirroring. Everyone is you pushed out is not a principle of everyone is a mirror of you. I remember when I first heard that, okay, everyone is a mirror of you. As a coach, that really helped me to help my clients, because I would think of things like, for example, when somebody says everyone's a mirror of you, you can use that for your triggers to say okay, if my neighbor is triggering me because they're really loud and obnoxious, where do I feel self-conscious of myself about being loud and obnoxious? Or where do I find myself feeling judged in that way, or whatever it may be? I found that to be a helpful tool, but it still wasn't completely clicking for me. And I like to always use this example too, is my clients, for example, that are really passionate about politics, and maybe they're really, really anti one politician and really, really for another politician, or vice versa. We would use this kind of mirroring technique to kind of help dig out and uncover. So for example, ones who might be really against a current politician or a politician, and they feel like they're witnessing things they're very anti-women, or they're very obnoxious, or they're not very smart, or blah, 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 then I would be able to ask a couple questions and help uncover maybe why they feel so triggered by that person. Maybe it's from their father acting that certain way, or their mother acting that way, or someone in their own personal lives that have affected them in some way, and that they're mirroring that same hatred and disgust and unforgiveness that they've had for someone else in their life to that politician, for example, or within themselves. also, and you know, the biggest mirror example. But everyone as you push out is not that completely. I mean, there's an essence of that, right? But it's not that exactly. I would say that the mirroring is a symptom where everyone pushed out is you pushed out, or everyone is yourself pushed out, is the root. That is the root that brings us back to ourselves and our creative control in creating and being creators on this planet. So what is it? Everyone as you pushed out means that every single person that's in your life, has been in your life, and will be in your life is a direct reflection of your assumptions, your reactions, your thoughts, and a mixture of those things. Biggest one being your assumptions. Okay, so if everyone is you pushed out, and say, for example, you had this core belief because your grandmother was really bad in school, and then your mom dropped out of school, and now you are working really hard, but you feel so inclined to be like, okay, it's school's not easy, it sucks, and I'm not good at school, I'm not natural at school, I might make good grades, but I have to work really hard at it, because you're basing this off assumptions that you've kind of taken on from a lifetime of living from your mother and your mother's mother and so forth. Okay, so same thing with a boss, okay? So say that you have a really frustrating work environment and you're like, I want to manifest a better boss, I want to manifest a better job. How your boss is showing up in your life is a direct reflection of your reactions and what you're assuming is going to happen, in the sense of how you show up in the world and how they are going to show up because of you. Same thing with relationships, you guys. If you have this deep-rooted assumption because you watched your dad leave, right? And you're like, I'll never let that happen. I'm only going to get with a good guy who's not going to leave his family, blah, 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 blah. But deep down, you have this assumption about men that they always leave at some point, no matter how good they are, no matter what it seems like. Then don't be surprised when at some point they leave, right? This can be terrifying when you first hear it, because you're like, well, wait, that means like everything bad in my life that's ever happened is a direct assumption, like result of an assumption that I've made. And it's like, yes, I'm here to say, yes, it is. But also, how exciting is it that now that you know this information, you can switch it around and remember that everything good in your life, every dream that's come true, every exciting trip you've ever taken, every great encounter you've had. I always like to use that kind of vibe, like when girls go out drinking with their girlfriends or with their friends and they go into the bathroom and you meet a new friend in the bathroom and you add each other on social media and you're like, you're so pretty, no, you're so pretty, and you become instantly best friends. Those moments, those amazing moments in life are also a direct reflection of your assumptions and what you want to bring into the world. So when we say words like law of attraction, I say law of attraction is a very basic bitch version of law of assumption. Law of assumption is where it's at. And we can go, I'm gonna have a whole nother video on why I don't believe in the words law of attraction anymore, and how I have proven it not to be true, where I've proven law of assumption to be true every single time. But that's for another video, so make sure you subscribe to get in on that one. So it is where we go with our assumptions. It is what are my reactions. Like, these are the things that when you can reflect on something that has happened in your life or is happening in your life right now, then ask yourself, where did I assume that this would happen from? What are my reactions saying? Why do I feel the need I have to control this? Because when you know this information, hey Sadie, my puppy, you can release control. You can release the feeling of being helpless and feeling helpless or feeling unworthy or any of that when it comes to creating your life. Because at the end of the day, now you know. Now you can rewatch this video 100 times because now you know. Now you know that you can assume differently. That all of these things, even up to this point, that are saying, oh, that's not going to work out that way, you can rewrite the story. You can figure this out. People will have to show up in your life how you want them to show up, how you're going to assume that they're going to show up. So think about that. Think about maybe you have some issues with like people in power, right? Like maybe you have issues with people in authoritarian figures or things like that, even if it's just in, whether it's your bosses or in the community or anything. What are you assuming on how they're going to show up in your life? What are you assuming that they're going to do? What are you assuming is going to happen to you if you come across with them? These are powerful questions that we can ask ourselves, and we can change the entire trajectory of our lives. It's super exciting because say you're dating, you can start assuming that those NBA players are going to think you're fine AF. Or you can start assuming that you're beyond worthy of having whoever you want, whenever you want, and that people will show up in your life how you want. Just saying, you guys, everyone needs you pushed out is the single most powerful thing that I have ever landed on and discovered and really taken into. And this is all just the beginning. This is 101, baby. We're gonna go deep, deep, deep on this channel. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching, including email coaching or FaceTime or Zoom coaching, then make sure to contact me. You can get my email in the description below on these new introductory prices. Because like I said, my entire coaching practice is completely different now, because my coaching clients are going to have way better, not even better, but quicker results once they implement Everyone Is You Pushed Out and some of the other crazy awesome things that we have in store. So I will talk to you guys soon. Make sure to connect with me.